A very warm welcome to you, ladies and gents. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours local time here in Kuwait City. Want to welcome all of you in chat. Trans Robloxian, welcome aboard. Rand Cooley, Mr. Valero, welcome aboard. Hello, Thomas. Glad to have you here. Mr. Flyby from the United States of America, welcome aboard. Mr. Stefanos, welcome aboard. Stan, Robert, and we have Chevdor, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Christian, welcome aboard. And we have with us today Ryan, Jesse, and Mr. Roy. How are you guys doing? I hope you are all doing well. And today, ladies and gents, we are going to be taking another look at the recently updated E-Jets by XCrafts. Now, XCrafts is a company that I hold in the highest regard. They are a very committed developer in the space of X-Plane. They are committed not to just quality, not just to the product, but they are very dedicated to their customers. They probably provide the best customer support ever when it comes to flight simulation, and they really stand behind their product with a very well developed website that is a wealth of information on both the add-on and on flying the actual aircraft. The E-Jets by XCrafts has been developed over many years through inputs from real-world pilots. It's been tested by real-world pilots, and today, in my opinion, this is the best implementation of an E-Jet for a flight sim, one of the best regional jets available today for flight simulation, both from the visual perspective and in terms of the fidelity of system simulation. So today we're going to be taking this rather beautiful aircraft, highly automated aircraft, from Malpensa in Italy to Vienna. Our flight time today is approximately 45 minutes or so, and we're going to be cruising at 34,000 feet. And this is, of course, release candidate 1 of X-Plane 12.3. So we are using Elevetics also today, which we're going to be taking a look at a little later. But first, let me show you our flight plan, just brief you on our flight today. So this is our flight. We're departing runway 35 left here at Malpensa, Milan, Italy. And we are going to be cruising at 34,000 feet, arriving later on into Vienna, VFR conditions in Vienna, runway 29er through the APTA to Whiskey arrival, and it should be a fun flight. We're going to be taking a look at the different features of the aircraft and enjoy the beauty of X-Plane 12. Okay, so without further ado, let's get things started. I have switched this to natural lights in the cockpit. I think it looks better, and I can show you what this actually looks when you select dynamic. So in dynamic, it looks a little bit, maybe, I don't know, you guys let me know what you guys prefer. But I felt that the natural lighting is a little bit better. But anyway, let's get things started, folks. We're going to come here to the Avi tab or the EFB, and we're going to select kilograms for our flight. We're going to leave this. Yeah, we want realistic. Yes, we want to show the reflections. And then ground surfaces, we're going to remove the ground objects and the engine covers. Next, we're going to go to weight and balance and request the company load sheet. As you can see here, this is Malpensa, Milan, the E-190. We are Austrian, flight 510. Payload is 7.5 tons of weight, and the block fuel is 4,000 or 4.8 tons of fuel. So we're going to view the load sheet. We're going to load the plane, and everything is done here. Takeoff part. We are departing runway 35 left. Conditions are dry, and we're going to need to get our wind information here from Navigraph charts. So we're going to click on Milan. We're going to go to the weather, and we're going to select the weather is variable at 1. So we're just going to put 0 and 1. And the current temperature is 13, quite cold. And the QNH is 1006. Perfect. So everything's set. Takeoff weight is set. Takeoff thrust is takeoff 1 and flaps 1 for departure. We're going to click here on compute real quick. And we have our V1 at 125, we rotate, and V2 at 132 and 137 respectively. Okay, perfect. Everything is set here. Let's go ahead and power up the aircraft. So we're going to head to, let me see here. There we go. We're going to go and select now, we're going to go to the overhead panel. First, we're going to make sure that the flap lever is retracted, the throttles in idle detent, and the engine switches are off. We're going to move here, make sure the battery 1 and battery 2. Lovely. And then we can test here the DVR. We'll test the annunciators, make sure everything works well. And then we are going to come here. Everything here looks good. Emergency lights are armed. Non-smoking fasten seatbelt signs are on. We're going to test the fire extinguisher. Maybe the sounds are a bit too low for the interior, so let me increase the sounds a little bit. Right? Don't go crazy on us. There we go. Okay. And next we're going to do the APU control. We're going to make sure, okay, there we go. Right, APU is starting now. Perfect. And then as far as the lights, we have the nav lights on. Everything here is good. Electrical pump A is on. And we are pretty much done here with the overhead panel. Very easy aircraft to set up. And next we'll wait for the APU. And then let me show you guys very quickly the wing views there. Again, very nicely done in terms of the texturing, and the inside of the aircraft is the cabin is also done very, very nicely. Very nice leather seats here with the branded Austrian Airlines branding there with the seats and everything. So yeah, very, very nice. Lovely aircraft, really. It's the result of many, many years of development, commitment, and tenacity from the XCrafts team. And by the way, this aircraft is an aircraft that I highly, highly recommend. If you like regional jets, short hops, you know, like an hour, 2-hour flight, perfect. It's the perfect aircraft. All right, the IRS alignment is now complete. So let's go ahead and come to the authentic FMS. And we're going to go to the route. We're going to check that the date is correct and the active database is correct. Of course, we're using AIRAC 2510 from Navigraph. Perfect. Let's go to the routes page. We are going to be heading to Vienna, Lima, Oscar, Whiskey. There we go. And we are Austrian Airlines AUA 510. And we're going to stick that there. Perfect. And then activate. And next we can go to the departure. The departure today is through runway 35 left through the, what was our departure? So the SID is going to be... Hello there, Donnie. How are you doing, my friend? Let's see here. So Donnie, let's see. Donnie, I think you're here for the first time. I haven't seen you here. I'm not using Active Sky, no. So the Farah 6 Alpha, which is this one here. Okay, do we have a transition? It's the OSC 5 mic. So this is the transition, and we're going to apply that and activate it. And now we can go and enter the rest of our flight plan. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to make this a bit smaller, bring it to the side. And now we have our flight plan here. Maybe we need to make it a bit smaller. There we go. Okay, so we are going to fly after the transition into Nesty. So let's come here and enter Nesty. Perfect. And then we're going to fly direct to Arald. Okay. And then from Arald to Upton, And there we go. And now we can say activate. And next we're going to go to perf int. So we're going to go to performance initialization. We can see that the alternate fuel is, if we look at our flight plan here, the alternate fuel is 1.9. So that's 1,900 kilos for the alternate fuel. And next page. Cruise altitude is 340, and the cruise winds are 277.97, 277.97, and we'll add that there. Perfect. And next, the rest of the information is available here. So let me just put that away for a second. And let's come over here, go to the weight and balance. The zero fuel weight is 34730, so 34730, and we'll put that there. And the takeoff center of gravity is 22.1, 22.1, and we'll put that there. Perfect. Okay, is the E-190 on the E series in general how to learn? It's actually very easy to learn because it's highly automated aircraft. So yeah, you don't really need to did we load the plane? Yeah, we did. Okay. All right. So we are done here, and we're going to go to the next page. Climb speed. I'll leave those. That's fine. 280. It's a bit off there, but that's okay. All right. Let's go to the takeoff data set. We are going to go takeoff 1. And then we are going to do a flex takeoff. We'll leave temperature 40 there. That's okay. And what else? Everything here looks good. We're going to go to the FMS takeoff now. Dry condition. And the winds are variable at 1. So 0 and 1. We'll add that there. So we have our information set here. And the next page here. So we want flaps 1 for the departure. So let me see. All right, so flaps 1 and then return. Let's see. Everything here is good. Next, we're going to go to takeoff. Now, for the takeoff, we've already set things here. So we're going to go to takeoff. We've already entered all the information. So we'll send to FMS. Click here once. And now we have all the data put in there. So we have 125, 132, 137. And we have the pitch trim, everything here set, flaps 1, and then we're going to go to the landing. Now for the landing, we're going to go to descent, and I'm going to select the arrival, and we're just going to select the runway arrival, which is 29er, and we're going to do the ILS, which one should we do? The ILS uniform, ILS Zulu, and then the transition. If we go to our flight plan here and look at runway 29er, let's see, runway 29er, and we look at the arrival for, this is Zulu, this is the one we want. There is no transition there. So what we can do is just go to the arrival, and we're going to select the star. And the star for the arrival today is going to be the, why does it say it's not used? Yeah, SimBrief keeps doing APTA 2W. There's just the first one here. And we're going to say apply and activate. Now, it looks like there is one discontinuity. So I'm going to go to the flight plan here real quick. And yeah, we can see that there is a discontinuity here. So we're going to click on delete. And we're going to remove it. And now we don't have the disco anymore. It looks like there is another one here. So we're going to click delete and remove that one. And now we're going to activate. And previous page now looks good. Okay, perfect. Let's click on flight plan again. And now we can go to our flight plan here and check it out. So let me remove this here. We're going to click on plan. This is our departure. This is how we're going to go. And to do the plan, you need to go to this knob here, and this is going to zoom in and out. and the upper knob will cycle through like a step through, if you will. So that's top of descent, and that is the runway there. This is our turn into the run. So it looks good. Everything is in tip-top shape here for our flight. We're going to click back on map. And another thing that you can do today is you can go to the weather. And now we can actually turn on the weather, and we can put all the information here for the variable gain. We can put the turbulence. So Gmap, you can have Gmap or WX map. So whichever one you want. And that's it. Yeah, we have the weather now. So this has been recently implemented. Auto brake goes to rejected takeoff. We're going to start this clock here. And now we can set up the glare shield for the flight. Perfect. Let's come over here, and we want to set the altitude to 34,000 feet. Now again, this works in the same way. If you go to the outer knob, that is going to increase in thousands. If you go to the inner knob, it will increase in hundreds. So we're going to go here and set this to 34,000 feet. 34,000 is set, and we have our profile here, which looks good, and everything now is ready to go. We're going to turn on the flight director, and you see roll and FPA here, and we want our altimeter. So the altimeter is currently, let's click here, the altimeter is 1006. So we're going to go ahead and set that. 1006 is now set. Right, elevation about 720 feet. And we are ready to go. So we're going to turn on the red beacon light, and we can taxi straight through here. If you look, yeah, I think we can just taxi straight through. Runway 35 left is this one here. So we're actually pretty close to the runway. So let's go ahead and start our engines now. And everything is set. Again, we have a restriction, looks like, here at 1,200 feet. Okay, perfect. Everything is good here. Let me remove the armrest. Okay. And let's go ahead and start. We have our beacon lights. Yeah, perfect. And we're going to open the covers here. And we're going to start with the right engine. Engine is now starting. Let's switch to external view. Lovely looking aircraft. The E-Series jets are coming, soon to be released. Yes, that is correct. Does anybody know the next time X-Plane Store will have a sale? I wish I knew. But the E-195 version. Goodbye. Excellent. It is November, so probably there will be a Black Friday sale. How cool is that? All right. So the engines are coming up. All right, let's see. Maybe the exterior sounds are... There we go. All right. So everything's good here. All right, we have a good start on the right engine. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. Engine number 1 now starting. Very nice looking aircraft. They've really put their hearts out in the development of this aircraft. And over the years, it has received so many updates. If you look at the evolution of the development of this aircraft, I mean, it really, really is commendable. The amount of work and you know what XCrafts have done with this aircraft over the years. Okay, so all is good here. We are ready to go. Let's set our flaps to flaps 1. Okay, flaps 1. Flaps 1 are now set. Perfect. Gotta admire the fidelity again of the texturing. It's really, really good. And by the way, the FSS E-Jet is based on the 3D model that XCrafts has developed, and it looks like they've just given it to them free of charge, just to, you know, for the project. I don't think they've charged them anything, according to Marco, the director of XCrafts. Okay, so we're all good here. We can turn off the APU, and everything is in tip-top shape for the flight. APU is now shutting down, and we're good to go. So let's release the parking brake. Parking brake released. And we're going to turn on the taxi lights. So taxi lights on, and off we go. Look at those lights, guys. Yeah. Just a beautiful looking aircraft. All right, let me bring this here a little bit. So we'll zoom in just to take a look at our departure there. I mean, everything that you look for in a quality add-on is in this aircraft. The visuals, the sounds, the fidelity of the systems, everything is just really top-notch when it comes to, you know, a quality payware add-on for X-Plane. And one of the things that really gives you a lot of comfort in making an investment in the XCrafts series is how dedicated the developer is to this project, and how cordial he is when it comes to dealing with customers, with questions, even when, you know, he's received a lot of hate over the years, by the way, Marco. He's put up with a lot from the community, but nonetheless, he remained true to his cause, he remained true to this project, and he developed the best regional E-jets available today for flight simulation, in my opinion. Right, here we go. Hello there, Golden Aviation. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us today. All right, here we are. This is the hold short for 35 left. Runway ahead. We're just going to bring the aircraft to a brief halt here on the hold short point. We're going to make sure the landing lights are on, strobe lights are on, taxi lights are off, and off we go. Now, the only thing you need to do in the E-jets is you need to, let's give it some power here. The only thing that you need to do is press AT. Oof, nice landing there. I didn't see that one coming. And you can see the speed brakes deploying there. All right, so clear on the right. And we still have that aircraft on the runway, so we'll wait for it to clear the runway, and then we'll depart. Runway 35 left. There we go. Let's line up. All right, there we go. And we'll just wait for the aircraft to vacate, and we'll be on our way. So the only thing that you need to do is we need to hit that AT, so we arm the auto throttle, and the next thing we're going to do is click here on the toga, and that's pretty much it, and the aircraft will do its thing. So we are ready to go here. All right, looks like the aircraft has vacated the runway, and we are ready to go. Hello from Poland. Welcome aboard, my friend. All right, we are good to go. And we hit there. .125 is our rotation speed. Hold. And positive rate of climb, gear is going up. Beautiful departure here from Milan in Italy. Right, we are above 1,000, autopilot engaged. We're going to switch to FMS speed. Okay, MF speed is set. Let's retract the flaps. Look at that, guys. What a beauty of an aircraft. Look at those clouds. Wow. Looks really, really good. Right, 220. Everything is now controlled by the aircraft autopilot. And the aircraft is going to do everything in regards to the restrictions. So when you see this in magenta, it means that the aircraft's autopilot is controlling it. And you see the speed is also in magenta, which means that it's the FMS speed. So the speed is controlled by the auto throttle and not manually by by the pilot. Look at those clouds, absolutely gorgeous. Right, 7,000. We're going to set this to standard. We continue to climb. We have 34,000. It will follow the restrictions to the book. And here is our turn. We're going to increase the range here a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And at 9,000, we will switch. We'll turn off the landing lights. Landing lights off. And let's release the passengers as well. And now you can see the speed has changed to 250. And as soon as we pass 10,000, it will again update the speed here as per the FMS. What version of XP are you playing on? I am currently on release candidate 1, X-Plane 12.3. Right, here's 10,000 feet. Looks like the speed changes here to 220. Let's take a quick look here. Yeah, I think at the next waypoint we see a 270, so we're good here. Look at those clouds, guys. Wow. Absolutely gorgeous. Even if you look at the sun rays there, wow. The lighting in X-Plane, the clouds, everything looks just gorgeous. I mean, the only reason now that people won't fly is probably the scenery, but just looking at this, guys, it's actually not bad. I mean, it's not photoreal, but it still looks pretty good. Highly automated aircraft. Again, you really don't need to do anything. The aircraft practically flies, does everything, it follows the restrictions, speed, auto-tunes the ILS. The only thing that it doesn't do, it doesn't take off on its own. It can land on its own, but it cannot take off on its own. Serial number is not in the email or XP store account. I know nothing about that. Mr. Fraga, how are you doing today? Hello, Benny. Benny is in the house, ladies and gents. Welcome aboard, Benny. Glad to have you here. You have got to adore this aircraft. Very nice detailing of the 3D model and the texture work as well. Very nicely done. And I'll tell you, I've done a test flight just a few days ago, and this aircraft is incredibly fun to hand fly. Very, very nicely done by XCrafts, really, in all departments. And I highly recommend that you, when you disconnect the autopilot, maybe disconnect it like 2,000 feet and hand fly the aircraft. It's so much fun, and it has a real feel of a real aircraft. So very nice and subtle wind flex there. And notice the texturing. You know, when I first looked at the textures, you see this area here, I thought that this was actually wrong. I thought that there was like a, you know, maybe like something wrong with the textures. But then when I looked at the real aircraft, this is exactly how it looks on the real aircraft. There on the engine, where the engine attaches to the wing, right there, this area here. Yeah. Right, we're here to 70 knots, and we continue our climb. Here's a quick look at the outside. I think we'll be able to see part of the, when we reach Austrian airspace, we'll be able to see the, let me reduce the interior sounds a little bit. I think that way you can hear me better. Once we reach the Austrian airspace, you'll be able to see the beautiful mountains. And the mountains from 34,000 feet in X-plane actually look really, really good. So, no complaints there in the scenery department. XP Store wants me to send my ID for them to get serial number for the... That I have to check with them. They think you've either been compromised, fraud is suspected, or key been shared. You have to work with them. Yeah. Hey Carl, how are you doing, my friend? Hello Anthony, welcome aboard. It may look nice from above, but as you get closer to the ground, the buildings look like they melted in FS24. In FS24, yes. Glad to have you here with us, Carl. Welcome, my friend. Gamer Tube HD, welcome. The scenery in X-plane is too old, like XP9. Look, I don't think it's high fidelity, but I beg to differ, because the buildings in X-plane actually look pretty good. The graphical assets don't look bad. I think what is not... I think the put-off is the actual mesh. This is what puts people off, because it doesn't look realistic, especially when you're closer to the ground. But other than that, you know, it's great. Yeah. You can see the mountain there. And look at this scene here as, you know, you see the clouds, the fog, the mist, the overall atmospheric conditions in X-plane. They look just really fantastic. Very nice looking aircraft too. Yeah, you are right there. With the ground mesh, I agree with you. This week I gave the Explained World editor a try, creating the local airport. Even this is working so easy. Yes, it is. Mr. Fairy Cake, welcome. Q8, Miss Ambassador for XP, thank you. Well, you're welcome, sir. If only they had UHD or HD mesh. They do have HD and a UHD mesh created by the community, of course. That's a bit too loud, isn't it? Let's see. Let me bring this down a little bit. Okay, there we go. 26,000 feet. You can see now, I think, the clouds there. I think it looks really, really good. And you've got your ATC chatter. By the way, ATC chatter has been recently updated, and it solves some of the issues in the previous version. X camera has also been updated to 2.4.4. Right, so what I wanted to kind of show you guys is Elevetics. So Elevetics has been updated. Let me make it a bit smaller here so we can see if anything goes wrong with the aircraft. Let me click here on focus. So that's us. That's us right there. Looks like there's another one. There's another departure there from oh, that's Charles de Gaulle. Okay. So this is us right there. And yeah, okay, 757. So that's the area. So it has detected our gate. And Elevetics has really developed over the time, and I think it is much more polished now. They do offer a Support as Go premium version, and if you click there, it says early access to new features, in-app Discord badging, unlimited 4K screenshot, enhanced data feed, and cloud autosave. And you can do it monthly or yearly. Now, it's good to support these guys, without a doubt. The free version already offers a lot. Now, my only thing to the guys over at Elevetics, and I hope that they actually hear this, is that for the premium version, I think the community would want something a little bit more, of value. So these things are okay, but I think something like schedules would be. I think this ATC chatter is kind of bugging me. There we go. That's better. So I think something a little bit of more value to the community would entice people to go premium. I'm happy to support them either way. So I'll probably purchase the subscription. It's not much. I mean, it's just $3.99 monthly, and obviously they do have some cost to cover with this because they've got like a cloud bill that they need to pay, and so but yeah, overall I think it looks really good. You've got some really good features. You've got a toolbox there. You can show the METAR. You can request it here. So you've got the ATIS, so you can put the we can put LO. Let me see my keyboard. Okay, and then we can request. So you can request the METAR information here. Time sync. You can sync now or keep synchronized, and TOD pause if you don't have it. I never use this frequency switcher, so you can switch here. So they've got some really nice features there. And again, if you're flying like on VATSIM, they've got also the support for that. So there you go. You have VATSIM here, so you can put all the coverage there for VATSIM. You can click here, for example, and show VATSIM pilots as well, and it kind of gives you the routes that this particular pilot is flying. And if you click on an aircraft, you can see it here. So I can track multiple aircraft. It's a really nice feature. So for example, I can now follow all these aircraft here from within the map, which is pretty cool. Of course, the overlay that you're seeing at the top of the screen that shows the details of our flight is also courtesy of Elevetics. You can see now A-Select is there we go. Now you see Alt. So, and you have the speed. So now it has locked the speed and the current altitude automatically. Don't have to do anything. And the only thing that we need to do now is really enter the landing information. And once we do it, why is the aircraft flying crooked? Why is it flying like that? Strange, huh? I'm suspecting that this might be... Why is it doing that? Let's see. All right, now it's fixing itself. Looks like. A little bit strange. Switch to the outside. Look at those clouds. There's another aircraft there. Gotta love the cloud smoothing in X-Plane. Look at those contrails, guys. Just lovely. Right, so these are, you can see now the mountains. Let me just switch real quick to the outside. You see this here, you see the scene here, you see all these, the mountains terrain here. It actually looks really, really good. I mean, not photoreal for sure, but nonetheless looks really good. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the aircraft for our arrival. I've also experienced it, don't know why it's happening. Yeah, it happens to me often. Strange, isn't it? Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to go to our flight plan. So I'm going to click here, view sim brief, and we want to take a look at the trip fuel. So the trip fuel is 2,128. Now we're going to go to the weight and balance, and if we look at the takeoff weight is 39,000 minus 2,128, that's 37.4 or 37.3. Okay, so we're going to landing to 37300. Okay, and at we are arriving runway 29er. Just zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. And if we go to the weather here at 290 at 9 knots. The current temperature is 11. Ooh, quite cold. And the QNH is 1006. Okay, so we're going to do flaps full. And all operational, icing no, and we're going to compute that. Analysis in progress. There's our speeds, and we can remove this here. And we're going to say send to FMS. Now we're going to come here to the data link, and we're going to load the V speeds. And now if you go to perf and we go to landing, you'll see that we have the landing speeds already, and the weight has already been entered. If we go to landing in it, the landing weight, we've calculated 37300. So you don't need to do this again, but we're just going to go ahead and do it 300. And the winds are 290 at 9, 290 at 9, and the temperature is 11. There we go. And that's it. We have everything set up for our landing, and we have the speeds. So all is good. If we go to approach speeds here, so we have it here, flaps 3, you have flaps 1, 180, clean 210, flaps 2, 160, flaps 3, 150, flaps 4, 140, and then landing flaps and the VAP speed. So everything is there for you, just in case you need it. And there we go. All is good here. And if we increase the range a little bit, I think the top of descent is in a little bit. We go to, why is this popping up, this one? Strange. All right, let's go to progress here. And let's see. Yeah, we're not too far now. We're looking good. And you can see the fuel consumption there. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to flight plan. Put that there. And everything is in tip-top shape. Perfect. Hello, Mr. Sherwin. Scott, how are you doing? It's more of a firing system optimization, and everything will still need to be done by hand for the most part. People think next-gen scenery will result in a worldwide overhaul of the scenery, and that won't be the case. Laminar will spruce up the immediate area around some airports, and yeah. Stick and Rudder Studios, by the way, is the company behind X-Camera and XATC Chatter, has also developed an XPad thing that works with your little Stream Deck, and I find it to be extremely useful. So again, they haven't really developed that many adults, but the ones they have developed are just top-notch. Here's a quick look at the outside. There we go. And you can see here the mountain range. Very, very nice. There, look at that. I mean, this looks really, really good. Indeed. Yes, indeed, my friend. This is a lovely plane. HD Sim is in the house, ladies and gents. Welcome aboard, my friend. Happy Saturday to you. You know, folks, this earlier today, I had a really, really bad migraine headache, and I was hoping that it would just subside before, you know, in time for the stream. Otherwise, I would have canceled. I have been really having a lot of those migraines lately, and I think it partly has to do with sleeping an hour extra on Saturday. I honestly think that. For those of you who, you know, suffer from migraine headaches, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think, by the way, getting migraines is something that is, you know, it's hereditary. So it's something in the genes. You get it probably, if it's a history in the family, then you'll probably get it. And what I've noticed is that if you have a habit of doing something and you don't do it on that particular day, it is more than likely going to cause you a migraine. So that's another developer who gives fantastic customer support. Mark at Stick and Rudder. Absolutely, Stan. Absolutely. And he's a really, really nice guy. I met him in 2023 at FS Expo. And I think, Stan, you and I think we had some really nice conversation with Mark. He's a really down-to-earth guy. Very nice. And I want to welcome Broncos Country to the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome to the family, my friend. We can shake hands regarding the migraine issue. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people suffer from it, but yeah, it's really, really bad. Okay, so let me just take a look here. All right, so that's the top of descent right there, so we can see it now. And what we'll do is I believe the platform altitude is 5,000 feet, but let's go ahead and verify that real quick. Let's see here. You want runway 29er? And no, it's 3,000 feet. Okay. Now, you don't really have to worry about anything because it will... By the way, why aren't we getting any weather? Let's see here. There's your gain, but you still don't get anything. There we go. Weather radar. Alright, let's see what we get now. So now we've got the weather there, and it show. I think it does show something. Let me play with the weather here. Not sure if we'll get anything. I'm probably not doing it right, but there's your top of descent. Okay. So 3,000 is the platform altitude. And the aircraft will basically descend on its own, so there is really nothing you need to do other than reset your MCP altitude, and then you're good to go. Would you say this is now a complete add-on? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And not just complete, but it's actually the best, I think, E-Jet simulation available for flight sim today. I don't think there is any E-Jet that is better than the one by XCrafts as we speak today. It is by far the very best. And I think it offers you a lot. So if you look at the entire range of the E-Jets by XCrafts, so you've got from the E-170, the 175, you've got the E-190 and the 195, and you also have the Lineage 1000, which, by the way, is on its own, which is a very unique aircraft and a very well developed aircraft by XCraft. The story of the Lineage, the reason why they got it really right, because Marco was actually invited by a real world, I think it was a pilot or somebody that works at an airport, and he gave him exclusive access to a real Lineage. And so Marco went himself and took pictures of the aircraft. So he took pictures of the cabin in excruciating details, and that's how the Lineage was created. So there's a lot that goes, in the development of add-ons. One of the interesting things that I've asked Marco about when the development of the XCraft was going on is how they actually get the dimensions of the aircraft. Do they have actual documentation to develop the aircraft to scale? And the astonishing answer was no, it is not always accessible. Those documentations not always available to developers. So what they actually do is they look at actual pictures of the aircraft, and then they try to recreate the modeling from those pictures. And that is a very, very daunting task. And it leads in a lot of cases to inaccuracies. But in the case of the XCraft, I think they've done a phenomenal job, and I think a lot of real-world pilots have assisted Marco in really getting it just exactly like it is in real life. And this explains how authentic the aircraft is. So there's a lot of work that has gone into the development of this aircraft. And proper R&P approaches, but still much better than the FSS-1. Yeah, for sure. Demon Trader, welcome. I need to get myself an E-Jet, was not sure which one to go for. XCrafts, any one of them, depending on the routes that you fly, is going to do the trick. So if you want like long haul, well, not long haul, but if you want like an excess of 2 hours, then maybe you can go for the E-195, E-190. If you like shorter hops, then you can go for the 170, 175. And then if you really want to take things a notch up, then you can go for the Lineage. And now the aircraft's doing some funny stuff again. Flying to the side. And of course, guys, I would be very grateful if you could hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help the channel. Yeah, I can still feel the heaviness in my head. from the migraine earlier today. X-Plane 12 does not have motion vectors. It's been implemented, which will allow for TAA, DLSS, and so on. IQ8, how come you're flying without ortho? Well, I've actually given up on ortho. It just takes so much time to load something I don't have much of, quote unquote time. So, and you know, I do enjoy X-Plane just as it is. All right, so I'm going to reset our altitude now to 3,000 feet. We're going to go to the outer knob and set this to 3,000. There we go, 3,000 is set. And once we're ready, the aircraft, so if I go here, that's top of descent, and you can see it again here on the profile as well. So this is TOD, all the restrictions are marked properly. So we're going to just put this back one, and oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Remove that, and that. There we go. Look at those clouds. Wow. That looks so good. Map enhancements works very well. Unfortunately, map enhancement for some reason doesn't work on my machine. I really don't know why. But yeah, so I'm out of luck there. Those winds are really strong. Maybe that's causing the heading rocking. Maybe, yeah, the winds are strong for sure. This scene looks really, really nice, I have to say. I really am looking forward to the Baron and the Bonanza by Black Square. Now, I'll tell you something, guys. I was offered a chance to look at those aircraft in early access. I think V1 Simulation has done a stream on them. It's always a pleasure watching V1 doing those streams, especially on those general aviation aircraft, because I think he's got a lot of experience with those planes. So it's always an inspiration to watch his streams, and the way he explains things is something I'm really very fond of. Now, I did not opt for those. Although Just Flight has offered me early access for two reasons. One is I wanted to really support the developer, so I want to purchase these aircraft, and if I get the preview version, then it means that he's not going to get, I'm going to get them for free, and I really didn't want to get them for free this time. I think on the earlier versions I've got them for free, so I thought it was only fair that I pay for them this time, just kind of to support the developer. And the reason being, the reason I wanted to do this specifically is if you look at the fidelity of those aircraft, the depth of simulation, and if you consider the fact that there is only one man behind those add-ons, that's something to really admire. So the Black Square aircraft are developed by a single developer. He's got no one with him. He's just a solo developer. So it takes a lot, and I think he really does put his heart out in developing those aircraft. So as means of supporting him, I decided to not get the early access to the aircraft and pay for them when they are out. I have access to the 787, A320, and 737 MAX, but I don't know a developer to help them with what they need. Hey, Mohan, how are you doing, my friend? I hope you are well. From Sacramento, California. Welcome. Hello, David. Welcome aboard. What is the info stripe across the top of the screen? That would be Elevetics. So this is Elevetics. Again, for those of you who are not sure what Elevetics is, this is what Elevetics does. It's kind of like Volanta. Again, all of the stuff that you see, this is the free version. You can go for premium to support these guys if you want and get early access to new features, in-app Discord badging, unlimited 4K screenshots, enhanced data feed, 1-second flight path rendering, that is, and cloud autosave. Stores your autosaves in the cloud for up to 3 months, coming soon. So $3.99 a month if you want to support these guys, and I think they deserve to be supported. So I will go ahead and purchase the subscription right after our stream today. This is Vienna. This is us right there. So we're going to begin the descent shortly. This is our top of descent, as you can see. And it says LNAV path, and you can see the aircraft has begun the automatic descent. Again, I haven't done anything other than really changing the MCP altitude, and the aircraft's taking care of everything now. And you can see the descent profile here. We are on the profile right now. So all is looking good, and the aircraft is behaving exactly as it should. Very nice indeed. And here's our descent. Look at those clouds, guys. Wow. I mean, X-Plane 12.3 is really a game changer. And here you can see the fidelity of the clouds. I never thought that we'd see clouds so well generated in X-Plane until I actually saw them. They're really good. Really, really good. Flying in the skies of X-Plane is very immersive now. They've done a really good job. And this... you know, this calls for a lot of excitement for what's ahead for X-Plane. It's really a flight sim that has come through a lot of development, a lot of updates, and Laminar are finally starting to listen to their customers and creating some really high fidelity, a very high fidelity sim. And weather was one of the biggest things that folks were complaining about, and this is now totally fixed. There are very few situations where the clouds don't look right, but for the most part they look fantastic. I took a screenshot on the thumbnail of my last video on the Archer 3, and it was by far the very best screenshot I have ever taken in X-Plane. The clouds were so realistic. The overall scene was just really jaw-dropping. So, looks really good. I can't wait for the implementation of motion vectors. X-Plane 12 is going to look phenomenal without all the jaggies and shimmers. Well, I think the jaggies and the shimmers have been significantly reduced in 12.3. In fact, this is one of the highlights of 12.3 is that they've really reduced it to an acceptable level where I think it no longer is an immersion breaker. I think works really well now. It used to be really bad, I have to say, but in this version 12.3 I think it's really subsided significantly. Still there, not completely fixed, but it's a lot better for sure. Seasons would be a good X-Plane in the future. I think they do have seasons, don't they? You can get an add-on again. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we're
But
still working on the Cork controls.
but I think if you do real seasons are implemented in X-Plane. Yeah. So if you enable real weather and real time, you'll actually get the seasons. So right, we're going through some clouds here. 25,000 for 3,000. We're looking good. Again, the aircraft's going to maintain all the restrictions. As you can see, we have a restriction here. We need to be above 8,000. So the aircraft's going to descend until the restriction. And yeah, we're definitely going through some clouds here. Wow, look at the cloud smoothing, guys. Let's switch to the outside real quick. Look at that. So nice. All right, now the ILS frequency will be automatically tuned. So if we come here and go to radio, you'll see FMS Auto, and this means that it will automatically tune in the ILS frequency for the runway, and it happens about, I think, 20 nautical miles before the arrival. So if I look here, that's 109.55 is already set, and the approach course is set to 291. So there is really nothing you need to do other than monitor the flight and takeoff and land the plane. If you don't want to use auto land, then you can land the plane yourself. Other than that, the aircraft pretty much manages everything for you, which is pretty cool. The different layers of the cloud is fantastic. I agree, yes. The light shining and scattering off the clouds in front are just beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Looks really fantastic. Boring plane to fly. Yeah, Dave Cut. Yeah, it is a highly automated aircraft. So yeah, and that's why for short hops I think it's okay. But I think, imagine if this was like a long hauler and you were flying like for 7 hours and you have nothing to do. I think the pilots may fall asleep. I mean, they fall asleep on other aircraft. So I imagine on the long haul flight in the Embraer would probably put them to sleep. Do you know if XCrafts will make the RJ with a new engine variant like the E2? I really doubt that. I'm not sure, but I doubt. You even get the sun on the ground shining between the clouds. Yes, you get that, Dean, and it looks really, really good in X-Plane. Looks really good. Right, here's 20,000 feet. We are 17,000 feet away. And you guys, of course, have all the details there on the overlay from Elevetics. So you have all the information that you require. I think there is a bot in Twitch, but I'm not sure how it works. So if we go here, let's see, let me go to the settings here. If we go to streaming, so I have the Twitch bot enabled, but I'm not really sure how it works. So you've got your predictions, customization. I don't know if this works for, if it works for, so I don't know if you can type like, I really don't know how it works. But streamer mode, landing rate. I'm not sure if you get this or not, but yeah, I've configured everything, but I'm not sure how it works. Maybe it only works for Twitch. I really don't know. Ooh, now you can see the weather there. Look at that. We have some bad weather ahead, it looks like. What's the weather like at, I thought it was, no, the weather is fine. Why are we getting that? Strange. Definitely very strange. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think we have any bad weather there. Oh well. Looks like according to the weather radar, there's some bad weather there. Let's see. For a new build with X-Plane in mind, do you recommend AMD or Intel as CPU? Well, Benny, I really know very little about AMD, so I really cannot comment. Intel has, I know a lot of AMD users praised it for Microsoft Flight Sim, but for X-Plane, I really don't know, and so I don't want to give you any false information or information that is not based on factual tests and empirical data. So I really don't know is the answer. But I have been using Intel processor forever, and I'm quite happy with it. That I can tell you. Right, let's decrease the range. This is looking really nice, guys. Look at those clouds. Look at this. Wow. Okay, so we're almost there now, and the transition altitude. Let me go to flights here real quick. Let's click on the chart here. This is transition level by ATC. Airport elevation is 600. Let me go very quickly here to 29er Zulu. And we want to grab okay, so 105. Okay, so let's come over here. Set this to 105. There we go, 105 is set. And we can also do the, let's see, 1006. Okay, 1006. There we go, all set. And we are at 12,000 feet. We're looking good. Scattered clouds in the vicinity. There's some nice wing view there for you guys. Why did XATC chatter stop? Chatter pause. Nearest facility. Let's see.
Conditions. View at 4,200. Scattered at 4,400. Temperature 11. Viewpoint 5. QNH 1006. Transition level.
There we go. Very nice. Here as we make the turn. Right, we're coming up to 10,000 feet, so landing lights on, and the fasten seatbelt sign on. We're going to set the auto brake to medium.
We're good afternoon, Aircraft 6735, heavy silence to
Aircraft 6735, today continue approach.
And we'll see the speed also decreasing to 250 knots as we approach 10,000 feet. Thank you, Mohan, for helping out there with the choice there. It really helps, and this is one thing I really love about this community, and especially those of you who are here on the Q8 Pilot channel. I have found you guys to be extremely helpful, not just here in chat, but also in Discord. So thank you very much, guys, for being helpful to the community. I really appreciate it. And I definitely learn a lot from you guys as well.
Aircraft 6735, 1273,
Okay, so everything's good here. Again, you can see that the aircraft is managing everything beautifully thus far. And now we have the restrictions set to 3,000. Everything is looking good. We are about 20 nautical miles from the transition into the arrival. So we are looking good here. Beautiful day here to arrive. Pretty cool as well. So that's the turn. And so as we get closer, we will start configuring the aircraft here. This is again the transition, and this is the runway 29er at Vienna. So all's looking good here. You can see the wing condensation there. What a lovely scene as we arrive into Vienna in Austria.
KLM 39 Yankee, contact ground, 110, bye-bye.
I think ATC chatter adds a lot of immersion. Though it is non-interactive ATC, I think it really does, bring immersion to the next level. Let me bring this here. Okay, so there we go. We're looking good here. And again, everything is auto-tuned, so the only thing we need to do later is just hit up the approach and then start configuring our flaps. So far, everything is in tip-top shape. 6,700 for 3,000. Okay, so here's the turn. I'm going to go ahead and Rand Cooley just sent 5 Q8 pilot memberships. Thank you very much, Rand. Really appreciate it, my friend. Very kind of you. And if you've received a gifted membership from Rand, please be sure to say thank you. Very much appreciated, Rand. Thank you very much, sir. All right, so we're going to hit the approach button here. And that is going to... I'm going to extend the speed brake a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're looking good. All is good here. We are cleared to land. All right. And we can go to activate approach speed. All right, there we go. Approach speed activated. Speed check. Flaps 1.
Bulgar 181 Romeo, vacate Sierra 4, flight on Sierra. Careful, right.
And speed check. Flaps 2. Right, so doing a little bit of rocking there. All right, there we go. That's much better. All right, and we're going to go ahead and select gear down.
Aircraft 18 Golf Delta, wind 280 degrees, 13 knots, runway 2 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 3 left, aircraft 18 Delta.
All right, we have the flaps full now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the autopilot,
Autopilot.
and I will hand fly the approach.
Shamrock 77 Charlie.
And always a joy to hand fly
Runway 2, left.
the approach in the XCrafts. Again, the weather and visibility allows us to do this today, so we're going to do just that. Flaps are full. Landing gear is down. We're going to begin the turn now. Very nice approach into
Breeze 13 knots,
Vienna.
runway 2 left, clear for takeoff.
2 left, clear takeoff.
1,000.
There we go. Let's line up. Perfect.
Glide slope.
Yeah,
Glide
we're a
slope.
bit too low.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
123, surface
We'll
wind
keep it
280
there.
degrees, 13
Glide
knots, runway
slope.
28 left, clear to take.
Glide slope.
Clear
Glide
takeoff,
slope.
28 left, camera 1.
Glide slope.
Okay, we'll watch the glide slope there. There we go. Let me reset my view.
Mars 162, good day, line up runway 28 left.
Other one is 28 left, number 0.
And the aircraft will maintain the speed. A little bit of wind there, not much. What a joyful aircraft to fly, to hand fly. Really, really fun aircraft to hand fly.
Again, Lufthansa 9921, heavy, ready for departure.
Lufthansa 9921, good afternoon, surface wind 280 degrees, 11 knots. Cleared line up and take off runway 28 left.
Lufthansa 9921, runway 28 left.
500.
Mach 72 Lima, line up runway 28 left.
Line runway 28 left, camera 72.
Glide slope.
200.
Glide slope.
Approaching minimum.
Glide slope.
24 Echo, hold
Glide
code Echo
slope.
1, and ready for departure.
Glide slope.
KLM 24
Glide
Echo,
slope.
good day, surface wind
Glide
30
slope.
Minimum.
degrees, 10 knots.
Minimum
Runway 28
100.
left, clear for
Glide
takeoff.
slope. Glide slope.
Traffic clear for takeoff.
Glide slope. Glide
50.
slope.
40.
Throttle. Throttle.
30. 20. 10.
Reverse. Ladies and gents, welcome to Vienna.
Auto brake.
All right, we've made it safely here. And a bit, you know, well, the approach was not exactly the most, you know, accurate one from my part, but we've made it. It was pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at our landing. There we go.
Auto brake.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
Yeah, we were not on the glide slope, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look here. We're going to remove that for extra immersion. Wow, look at that, guys. Look at the trees there, the clouds, the lights. Pretty cool, isn't it? Right, let's do it one more time here. Wow, look at this approach, guys. Look at the lights in X-Plane. And the runway contour looks just gorgeous. Wow, very nice indeed. All right. We got to do this a few times, guys. That's a control tower view. Wow, beautiful. Just beautiful. All right, let's do wing view now.
Kilo Alpha, wind check 290 degrees 7 on 28 left, clear for takeoff. Bye-bye.
Clear for takeoff, runway 28 left, Sherman 1 Kilo Alpha.
That wing flex, though. Yeah. Very nice indeed. All right, we can exit here. There we go. Let's retract our flaps.
Gentlemen, welcome. We'll be taxiing for the next few minutes. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened, and all items stowed until the fasten seatbelt sign has been turned off. Please make sure you
have passenger announcements as well. All right, we can kill the landing lights. Let's start the APU. All right, APU is starting. Perfect. And let's see, we can go to the main terminal there. And okay, so we can kill the landing lights. Taxi lights off, on basically, and strobes are off. There we go. I hope you guys enjoyed the flight. It was a really fun flight. I think we could have gone there, but that's the cargo area at Vienna, but that's okay. Overall, really enjoyable flight. Lots of fun. I really enjoyed flying the XCrafts, especially the last part, the hand flying the aircraft. I'm not sure why it. Maybe the speed wasn't right. Maybe I needed to configure the aircraft earlier for the approach. So the approach speed should have probably been activated a bit earlier. But nonetheless, it was just a beautiful arrival into Vienna. And hand flying the XCrafts E-Jet is always a joy. So it was a lot of fun to actually fly the aircraft. Especially the last part, for sure. Highly recommended aircraft, guys. Highly recommended aircraft. Okay, we're gonna bring the aircraft to a stop here. And there we go. Parking brake set. And we are going to kill the taxi lights. And now we can kill the engines. All right, and beacon lights off, nav lights off,
Good afternoon, you can see the approach number 1.
and we can come here now to the ground services, and we can open the door. We don't have any cars there to, you know, to pick up the passengers, so we'll just leave it there. But that's pretty much our flight today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this flight as much as I enjoy streaming it for you. It's been a lot of fun flying the XCraft, a highly automated aircraft. It remains to be, in my opinion, the very best E-jet available for flight simulation today. XCrafts is one of the better developers, I think, in our community, with great customer support and really high attention to detail and quality. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as I enjoy streaming it for you. I will be back with you again next Tuesday. I really am not sure which sim. More than likely X-Plane. I have something up my sleeves for X-Plane. But if not, if something releases for Microsoft Flight Sim that is worthy of showing, then I will definitely do it. I know their Fokker has released now, and I've downloaded the aircraft, so maybe we'll take a look at that in an upcoming stream. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and have a brilliant day.